A Republican governor is working with Everytown for gun safety. And it might cost you your rights related to the Second Amendment. Pay attention to this one, guys and gals. Before I jump into that, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, and that's Lear Capital. Guys, the United States is broke and it's just going to keep on printing money, which is why you and I have to do something to protect our savings. That's one of the reasons that I buy physical gold and silver from Lear Capital. They ship it directly to my door in just a few days, and they can also tell you how to protect your retirements by adding gold to your 401ks or IRA accounts. Head on over to leargg.com or call 1-800-260-5075 and get your free investor guide. With a Google rating of 4.8, over $3 billion in transactions, and over 90,000 happy customers, they'll be sure to help you start to protect your investment and your retirement with gold and silver. Once again, check them out at leargg.com or 1-800-260-5075. Thanks to Lear Capital for being a sponsor of this channel. Hey guys, my name is Jared. This is Guns and Gadgets. If you're into Second Amendment news, you found your home. Hit that subscribe button down below. Stay in the know. Multiple times a day I put out information on the Second Amendment. The attack never stops. It's up to us to get that information out. And I'm asking everybody in the country to phone a friend on this one. All right, so we're talking about Tennessee. Tennessee, as you know, or should know, this is like my fourth or fifth video on this subject. The governor has decided after the shooting that happened in a school in Nashville that he wants red flag laws. And shockingly enough, this Republican is working with Everytown for Gun Safety and Michael Bloomberg, and they have launched, Everytown has, a six-figure, I don't have the exact number, but I know it's six figures, a six-figure movement where they're paying for all types of advertising in favor of Governor Lee's red flag law proposal. That just hit a bump in the road. And I want to tell everybody about it, especially my friends here in Tennessee. Have we beaten this? Maybe, but stay tuned because there's a wrinkle that people are not talking about. So today, Governor Lee submitted his proposal on what the special session will be talking about on August 21st. This is what Governor Bill Lee's administrative package includes. This is what the legislators can talk about during this session. Codifying his executive order dealing with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and background checks, the proposal requires reporting of accurate, complete, and timely records from court clerks to the TBI within 72 hours and requires electronic submissions of dispositions and expungements to the TBI. The second one is a TennCare mental health coverage waiver to allow federal matching funds for Medicaid to cover mental health and substance abuse services. 3 is budget initiatives prioritizing hiring and retaining mental health professionals in the state. Next is eliminating certain practice requirements for psychiatric nurse training to expand access to mental health treatment. Next is greenlighting DNA collection at the time of arrest for felony crimes. I'm not a big fan of that. That might be a Fourth Amendment violation. Next is directing the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to report on the state of human trafficking in Tennessee. And finally, the governor's package includes eliminating taxes on firearm safes and other storage initiatives. Now, what the governor's package is missing are two things, actually, that the anti-gunners floating around Nashville and Memphis want. They want a safe storage law. Well, he didn't include that. And missing is his proposal for a red flag law. Stay to that. Hold on to that. I'm going to show you one more thing, and we're coming back to that because it's not dead, folks in Tennessee. It's not dead. And my friends around the country, I'm asking you again, phone a friend on this one. Stand by with me. Now, these are the 18 topics that lawmakers can consider. Mental health resources, providers, commitments, or services. School safety plans or policies. Healthcare providers' duty to warn about potential violent offenses. Offenses of committing acts of mass violence or threatening to commit acts of mass violence, reports to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation regarding human trafficking, identification of individuals arrested for felonies, law enforcement's access to criminal and juvenile records, law enforcement's access to information about individuals who are subject to mental health commitment, information about victims of violent offenses, stalking offenses, measures encouraging the safe storage of firearms, which do not include the creation of penalties for failure to safely store firearms. So the governor is killing any criminal penalty for that. Temporary mental health orders of protection, which must be initiated by law enforcement and include a due process hearing and cannot permit ex parte orders, a proposal Lee previously pitched in April, but he didn't pitch it now. And that's the big one right there. Transfer of defendants 16 and older to courts with criminal jurisdiction, limiting the circumstances in which juvenile records can be expunged, blending sentencing juveniles, offenses related to inducing or coercing a minor to commit an offense, the structure or operations of state or local courts, appropriation authority to fund any special session legislation. The big one, though, is temporary mental health orders of protection, which must be initiated by law enforcement and include a due process hearing and cannot permit ex parte orders, which is why I told you to hold on. There's a wrinkle. So this is what they can talk about. Now, in black and white, right? They can't talk about a red flag because red flags always have ex parte and they never have due process. So these lawmakers are going to have to get really, really creative. And it's a big uphill battle here in Tennessee because it is Republican controlled. And a lot of the people I've spoken to in the state legislature are like, nah, dude, it's a non-starter for us. However, I told you that NRA was working with one of the state reps here to create a more palatable bill that would take folks' rights away based off their mental health. I did a video on it above. I'll pin it here. So watch that. You need to understand this. And if this comes to fruition, shame on the NRA for working with legislators to try to take away somebody's rights. I will say that the efforts we've put forth has caused Bill Lee himself to pump the brakes and pull his proposal, but he left it open so that the legislators can talk about it and maybe come up with something that doesn't have ex parte and includes due process. And why did he write that in there? Well, if you remember, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act has a huge thing of bribery money for states that have that put into play red flag legislation that includes due process. It's a ploy for him to get the legislators to work to maybe get some federal money in here. My hope is that the red flag is dead. I'm pretty sure we'll see it in the next session, which is only a couple weeks away anyway. But I want people to know that the governor has backed off of it, but he's left the door open for legislators to do it. It's on you. If you live in Tennessee, call your legislators. I'll have a number down below, link to figure out who they are and how you can contact them. And my phone a friend for folks not living in Tennessee. I'll have a number down below for the governor's office. Please rattle his can and tell him what the Constitution says, what the Second Amendment is. We don't give away our rights because of crazy people who go in and shoot people. And by the way, we still haven't even seen the information that person left behind saying why she did it. There's got to be a reason for that. That would be my guess. So Tennessee, not out of the woods, but close. Stay on your representatives. Numbers, links down below. Don't live in Tennessee? Call that governor's office. I'd love it if you could do that for us. I'll see you all on the next one. Have a fantastic day. Say hi to your family. Give them all a hug. Give them all a kiss. You never know when you're not going to have that opportunity again. So get it done. Take care, y'all.